Hi all folks, this is Max from YouTube channel ZeroMax and hi on Android.com. So today I wanted to give you a little bit difference between the Droid Bionic on my left and the Droid Razr, which is the world's new thinnest smartphone in the world. First of all, let me give you a size difference. The Droid Bionic is almost double the width. You can see that clearly. They're very similar in design. Both have a hump, whereas the Droid Razr obviously is about almost half the size in width. As far as the cameras, I believe they're about the same, and the 4G LTE, they're about the same. Let me see. Both capture 1080p 30 frames per second. But both have a 1080p video. But the Droid Razr also does 720p at 120 frames per second, which means you can take better action videos such as sports and whatnot. It's not going to make a big difference if you're not going to be using your phone as primary camera. Which I don't anyways, so that's not that much of an improvement. Both of these phones have 1.3 megapixel camera. The really only difference is really the design. Both have HDMI, micro HDMI output. Also, the screen is different. This one I believe is using Pentile, and this is the AMO LED. So I can't really tell much difference, but you know, Droid Razr is supposed to be better screen, but I think they're about the same in my opinion. So that's not really something to brag about. As you can see, the same size is almost exactly the same. The Droid Razr is slightly bigger, but it's much thinner. As far as putting it into your pocket, of course, this one feels a lot lighter. You know, it doesn't even feel like a phone's in your pocket. Also, there's a slot for micro SD here, and SIM card, 4G SIM card. Whereas this one, you have to take the back cover out. Here's one big, huge difference between the Droid Razr and the Droid Bionic. Droid Razr has no replacement battery, which means you know, if you run out of your battery, you better have a charger. You might want to even carry an extra, like, portable USB charger with you at all times. Whereas the Droid Bionic, you can get an extra battery, get an extended charger, and just carry this really thin battery with you. Maybe 2 of them, 3 of them, however many you need. Or even better, I've got the extended battery here, which makes your battery last like almost 2 days, 2.5 days, on regular usage. So that's one big advantage, while that makes it even like 3 times thicker than the Droid Razr. So if you're on Verizon and you're thinking about getting a good 4G LTE phone for work, you'll definitely want to go with the Droid Bionic, because with the added battery, you can go like, you know, 2 full days without having to worry about battery, and you can get full 4G LTE. And whereas the Droid Razr is really thin, really nice, but I've noticed the the battery doesn't last that long. You know, it's very comparable to other Android phones on the market. The sad part is that, you know, you need to actually charge it. You can't have an extra battery. Having, you know, replaceable battery is really advantageous for those of you who are not near a charger and maybe, you know, you travel often. Whoa, what was that? That's my other phones. Anyway, that's the big difference. Also, this one comes with a dual core 1.2 gigahertz, so make it a little faster. The Bionic dual core 1 gigahertz. So the Droid Bionic is a little bit slower, but in real life usage you can't really tell the difference. The camera is about the same on both for 1080p. They're 30 frames per second. Of course, this one does better 720p at 120 frames per second. Other than that, the motor blur is actually pretty much similar. I have actually a different launcher on there, so you can load a different launcher on there, and it will be no problem. And I actually loaded a custom ROM on there, a Liberty ROM, which makes my battery last like way longer. And I also got the Droid Razr boot animation there, as you can see. But they're both very good phones. If you're not, you know, terribly, that was said terribly. If you're not terribly worried about your battery life, I would definitely go with the Droid Razr. It's much more sexier device. It's thinner than a Galaxy S2 even, which was the former thinnest smartphone champion of the world. As you can see, it's very thin. Overall, they're both very good phones. Each have their advantages. This one is really more for stylish, and this one is really for heavy users who need, and also if you're not going to be near a charger. So those are really the two options right now. Or you can wait for the Galaxy Nexus. But for work, definitely get this one with the extended battery, and then you can tether 4G LTE. You know, and it's so fast. 4G LTE, it just beats everything out there, and it gets good signal everywhere I go. Other than that, I guess that's the review. If you want me to test out anything between these two phones, leave in the comment sections below. That was kind of comparison between the two phones, and I'll have the comparison of the Droid Razr versus the Galaxy S2 series soon. See y'all later.